Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, September 9th, and this is our creative week with your hostess, Jennifer Vanderbeek of scrapsoflife.com. How's your week been? Um, I I feel like mine has been a lot of starts, but very few endings. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I feel like I have worked on things. I've started projects, I've started ideas, but then it's like meh. So yeah, a little chaotic right now, maybe is the best way to describe it. Case in point. So I've been doing some more personal sewing. I think I've mentioned this before. I showed y'all the skirt I made before. I was working on another pattern from the same company. And I needed to do some fit adjustments to fit me as opposed to, the standard pattern drafting individual. And so I mocked up this, ended up making this shirt, got cute little flutter sleeves, and I added like a little tie at the waist thing. And it's all well and good, but in doing that, there were two mock ups before that, just of scrap fabric kind of thing. And by the time I got that finished, I realized I'm looking at the rest of the pattern and I'm like, you know what? I just don't think that it's going to suit my body well. I had purchased the pattern ages ago. So, this happens. You think, "Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I'll pick that one up. No problem." And so I got the shirt done. It still needs a few tweaks to make it, you know, exactly what I want it, how I want it. But yeah, it was just like I did all this work and now I'm not even going to make the dress out of the fabric that I thought I was going to. But on the plus side, um, it is, one of my partners pointed out that it is probably a growth moment to recognize that, this isn't going to suit me. I might as well not make it um, and have it sit in the closet and just, never get worn because I don't like it. Better to save the fabric for another project and put that pattern away until such time as I decide that, I may like it later or I may not, and it's tempting to get hung up on the sunk cost fallacy, which is to say that, oh, I spent this many hours adjusting this pattern and tweaking this and working towards this goal that I'm now not going to even try to reach. Um, because I learned things along the way, and they're very useful things, and they're things that will serve me well on other projects. So it's not a waste of time as we sometimes get into our heads thinking. But yeah, so that was like a, well, that happened kind of moment. I'm getting ready to go out of town next week. And so I've got lots of things to do. One of the things is to decide which knitting or crochet project I'm going to take with me. I always take one fiber project, and then I've been also taking a little cross stitch project. So I'm going to be taking the tarot card cross stitch that I showed last week that I'd worked a little bit on the border. Still have a ton of work to do, and I have one more kit that's another card in that series. So I'm going to bring those with me because I'll be out in Arizona for 2.5 weeks. Not that I expect to get all that done, but just I like having things to do with my hands. If we're sitting down watching TV or just kind of hanging out or whatever, it just helps me have something to do with my hands. But I also always pick like a knit or crochet project. And so I have wound yarn from, the skeins into balls um, for two different projects, both of which I have realized that, yeah, no, I don't really want to take those with me. I don't want to do those right now. I have gone back and forth on what kind of project, and I think I'm back to just bringing some sock yarn and needles and just knitting a pair of socks. Uh, And then it's like, do I want to knit a fancy pair of socks or just a basic pair of socks? Because it's been a while since I've knit socks. But it's like, it's nice, it's simple, it's mindless. We can sit there and, I don't have to like pay attention. But it's just, I feel like I'm kind of all over the place with what I want to work on next. And yeah, brain is just not settling on anything. I've of course got lists galore going for the next 4 days as of this moment. I fly out Wednesday morning. So yeah, I've got 4 days to get certain things to certain points of readiness. Um, Another random thing, while I was noting down a potential sock pattern, I kind of started doodling in in the margins, or well, at the rest of the page. So that became this, which then became this, and I still don't know. I don't think this is its final form. Um, I was thinking that it would be a crochet pattern, like the doily style, the filet crochet. I thought it would be nice for that, but then I'm like, oh, but maybe it would be better as embroidery or could be quilted. I don't know, but this design is intriguing me, and it will become something at some point. Just what and when, I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of how the week has been going. But I will say I did finish one thing. So I think I mentioned last week that on my Friday Twitch stream, I had started working, or restarted working on a little miniature kit that I had purchased ages ago. I had to go back and look. It was back in 2019. Um, this was the little kit, specifically this little pink loft. And I decided I would continue working on that on the Wednesday stream. And then I was like, oh, you know what? It would be really kind of cool, um, since I'm about to go out of town and I can't take this with me to work on. Let's go ahead and try and get it done on the Friday stream. Well, there were a lot of little small parts that needed to be assembled before I could do the final assembly on stream, and I really didn't know how long the final assembly would take me. So I was trying to get all the interim pieces done. So I did that Wednesday night and Thursday, um, and included a trip to battery source because there you go. So I finally found the battery information because it says, install the batteries. Well, you know, let's see. There's a little bit of glare. I don't think it's gonna show real well. But anyway, there's this little diagram about installing the batteries, and it says this toy uses two AA batteries. No, it doesn't. Well, not this version, at least. The version I have has this little box that wouldn't even fit a AAA. It looks like it takes a square battery, and I don't even know if they make square batteries. No. Next to it, it also says install 3 coin batteries, but it doesn't tell me the size. So lots of searching online later, I find a similar kit that actually does list the battery size. So then I go to Battery Source and I say, I think I need 3 of these, which thankful, of course, they had. They're like the little, I don't know, LR 1130, I think was the eventual size I needed. But they're like the little disc, the little small ones that might go into like small electronics like hearing aids or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I needed 3 of them. She popped them in. They fit. Good to go. So yeah, that was an errand, and I don't want to finish that story until I show you that I actually did finish the miniature on the Friday stream. Yee! Look at all the little pieces. Like, I am ridiculously proud of this, in part because it sat there for years without me. I started like part of the sofa. I had started back at, not too long after I got the kit, like the little L-shaped sofa. I had constructed that, but hadn't even finished like the ottoman and stuff that goes with it or anything else. So, in a few sessions online, and then I don't know, however long the entirety of Good Omens 2 takes to stream, I did all the little pieces, and then yeah, a little more than 2 hours to actually assemble and place everything, including the lights. So there are four lights, and when I first, and I'm following the instructions, which were written in poor English, badly translated from something. Um, and I had told a couple of people about the instructions. It's like, yeah, you bundle all the white wires and all the gray wires together. I know they couldn't make it a little bit more obvious, but whatever. And then you attach the white group to the gray lead to the battery pack, and vice versa. And everybody's like, "What? Why?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's what it said." So that's what I did. And then I went to flip the switch, and it didn't work. Yeah, it was so anticlimactic. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? This is. I'm like, okay, well, maybe the people who actually do this sort of thing on a not too infrequent basis know, have had a good thing. Maybe I need to switch the wires. Maybe I need to have the gray to the gray and the white to the white. So I was like, wait, before I undo all of that, let me check that the batteries are put in the right way. No, the very helpful woman at Battery Source, she had put them in, but she had put them in backwards, and I didn't check. And so once I flipped them around, let's see if it's actually going to show worth a doggone here on the with the lights on. Yay! You can see that there's lights. So I actually managed to wire this thing and get the lights to turn on. Anyway, I mean, supposedly this kit can be done by a 14-year-old, including the wiring. So, it's not like I rewired the house or anything. First of all, I don't think I would. That I leave that to Todd because he actually knows what he's doing. But I felt like a massive sense of accomplishment just for that. And then before I forget, Dewey here, we'll go ahead and show his progress. I think last time we spoke, I had his body more or less done. I don't think I had started working on this rim of him right here. It has now been stuffed and stitched. Now, what's left to do for him really is the flippers. So these are going to get lightly stuffed, and also, yeah, all that stuff's going to be all the excess canvas around him is going to be, attached to the underside and stitched down. But yeah, he's coming along quite well. I'm having to be careful how much I work on him and how I work on him, because I have managed sprained my wrist again. Not through that, but yeah, because I was doing laundry and I sprained my wrist during laundry, so I have to be careful. There's a reason why I have multiple types of wrist and hand braces in my home. And it is because I become fragile at the strangest times. But like it's right now it's okay, but if I were to do anything of any kind of exertion with my right wrist, I would be putting a brace on just so that I don't muck it up once more. But yeah, you would think, and it wasn't even doing anything like truly strenuous, y'all. It was moving, a couple of pieces of wet clothing, not even heavy ones. They weren't jeans or anything like that. From the washer to the dryer, and yet managed to go ow, and paid the price. So yeah, that's how my week's going. So while it feels like a lot of things are in this like failure to launch phase. I know it's just a product of everything that's going on all at once. I know that from Wednesday, weather permitting, I know that there's that big storm out in the Atlantic that may or may not cause, cause travel delays this week. I haven't checked today, but I think I've seen that it's slowing down, but not getting that much weaker. But yeah, hopefully it'll stall and nobody will get hit by this already massive storm. Um, but yeah, so weather willing, when I leave on Wednesday, what will be done will be done. What won't. And it'll be either something that I can work on when I'm in Arizona, or it'll be waiting for me when I get back on the first. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's okay that this is how the time goes. This is how our to-do lists go. It's not like I'm going to Outer Mongolia. It's not forever. It's just 2.5 weeks. And I can do that. And I don't have to truly worry about it. So yeah, that's how that's how my week's been. Very creative, I feel like, but not a lot to show for it necessarily. Although, having amassed everything together, yeah, I mean, it kind of is a little bit. I've also been doing some computer stuff again so that I can work on my portfolio, get that updated. That's the last site that I really need to spend some time on. Um, where I could forward with certain goals. But we're getting there. We're getting there, step by step, one foot in front of the other, slowly. But yeah, we'll get there. Thank you so much for checking in with me, hanging out with me again. And I wish you a happy, healthy, and safe week ahead. If you're in the northern hemisphere, I wish you some cooler temperatures. Um, and maybe we'll start to see fall, because fall is my favorite. If you don't like fall, well, I don't know what to tell you. May summer hang on for a little bit longer for you, but for me, I'm really hoping for some cooler temperatures, says the girl who's about to fly out to the desert. But I just mean overall, overall. At any rate, have a good week ahead. I will be back with you next week from Arizona. And until then, creative, find something that fills your creative well and makes you happy, and do that. All right. Bye bye.